So Merry Christmas. I also want to welcome all of you here today because I know that you've made a choice to celebrate Christmas with us at Northway. I know that you could be in many different places right now. You could be so many different places, and maybe you've chosen this service because you're going to be going out of town and you're just grateful that we had this service on Friday. And I just want to say thank you for choosing Northway, for coming to be a part of our church family today. It's so great to be a part of it. And I think that maybe for some of you, this service is a part of your Christmas tradition. How many of you, it's a part of your Christmas tradition? Okay, this is what you do every time that Christmas Eve comes around, right? And I love Christmas traditions. Anybody have fantastic Christmas traditions with your family? I know I do. Kids, do you have some fun Christmas traditions with your family? So at the Chevalier household, we have a ton of Christmas traditions that I've borrowed from my parents and Erica's borrowed from her parents. And one of the things that we do to kick off the Christmas season, the first thing that we do is we watch a movie together. It's our favorite movie to kick off Christmas. If you've been a part of Northway, you know our favorite movie is the Chevalier family. It's the movie Elf. So anybody else have this a part of your Christmas tradition? You watch the movie Elf, right? Okay, anybody else with me? Okay, because we all know that the best way to spread Christmas cheer is to singing loud for all to hear. That's right. Somebody who said that right down there. That's awesome. I see your hand, man. Good work. All right. But maybe you've got some other Christmas movies that are a part of your, get into the Christmas mood. It helps you feel, Christmas is coming. So how many of you, let's just play a little game here, okay? Can we do that? By a show of hands, how many of you have a part of your Christmas tradition, or maybe you've already watched it this season? How many have watched A Christmas Story? Christmas Story, okay? Anybody? All right. Yeah, because nothing says get you into the Christmas mood like I'll shoot your eye out, right? You'll shoot your eye out, kid. You love it. Okay, so maybe some other Christmas movies that just get us into that feeling of Christmas. How about this one? A Charlie Brown Christmas. Do you watch that together? Charlie Brown Christmas, okay, we watched it as well. Some of you, how about Home Alone? Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin, right? I love that. Okay, Macaulay Culkin. All right, for some of you, it's A Wonderful Life. Some of you, okay, it's A Wonderful Life. You know the saying, right? Every time a bell rings. Exactly, all right? It's your favorite movie. You love this. Some of you, how about this one? Miracle on 34th Street. Yeah, some of you are like, yeah, we got to watch that one. Yeah, make sure you watch it tomorrow or something, okay? And then just lastly, how many of you just love Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, come on, had a very shiny nose. Okay, we're not going to sing the whole thing, everybody. I only got a couple minutes, all right? But you'll go down in history. There it is, done. So we love these Christmas movies. There's so many more that I could mention to all of us. And all of these movies at this time of year, they make us feel something, all warm and fuzzy. This nostalgic feeling of Christmas this time of year. These are movies that have fantastic stories about spreading Christmas cheer, right? And just being a good person. Great story plots about how generosity can change a person's life, of how being kind to people and helping a friend can make all the difference in their life. But I believe in Pittsburgh that there is one thing that many of us watch on television that as soon as it comes on the television, we instantly know that it's Christmas. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Okay, instantly we feel the vibes and we know that it's Christmas. It makes us feel some way as soon as we see this come on TV. And if you've grown up in Pittsburgh like I have, if you've been around since the 80s in Pittsburgh, maybe you didn't grow up here, but you've been around, since then, you probably know what I'm talking about. But there might be some of you that maybe you're in from out of town visiting family, so you wouldn't know this, okay? And maybe you're a part of a generation that you no longer watch television because you watch your shows on like Netflix and Hulu. so you don't watch the television anymore. If that's you, I just need you to know that you are missing out on one of the greatest Pittsburgh Christmas traditions of all time. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? All right, take a look. Yes.
We hope the special lift you get this holiday season lasts all year long. Happy holidays from Eaton Park.
Yes. See, I love that commercial because as soon as it comes on, you just know, here's the holiday. We love Christmas, right? This year when my daughters, so I have 3 daughters if you don't know that about me, and as soon as they saw that commercial come on the television, they yelled from in the room, "Mom, Dad, hurry up, quick, it's on." Right? So we come in, we all rush into the television, and we just watch that commercial, and afterwards we just smiled at each other because we felt something from that commercial. And Christmas was now finally here. We felt the sentiment of Christmas. It's connected to a tradition since 1982 in Pittsburgh, and it filled us with great anticipation to celebrate Christmas together. So here's a funny little thing. As we were putting this, together for all of you, Eaton Park's marketing department caught a hold of this, and they're part of a small group of our church, and so the marketing department said, "Hey, we would love to give everybody who's a part of your Northway services on Christmas Eve a free Smiley cookie coupon. So you'll be able to get that on your way out the door. They'll be out at the tables. How cool is that? So thank you, Eaton Park. That's fun. Hey, free advertising for them, right? But hey, you know where I'm going. I got a point as to why I show that. Because I believe that the warm and fuzzy feeling that we get from these movies and these stories and these plays and this commercial at this time of year, it touches a very deep part of every person who sees that commercial. And I think that Eaton Park nailed it in 1982. Did you hear what the guy said? He said this: "We hope the special lift you get this holiday season lasts all year long." See, and I think that's what all of us hope for. Seriously. I think that's what all of us hope for, that we wish that what we feel at this time of year would last all year. That would be fantastic. And then we come to a church service like this as a part of another tradition, so that's a fantastic tradition to watch the Christmas tree Eaton Park commercial. And we come to a church service like this in the Christmas season, and we have another tradition. We hear a very familiar story about this baby Jesus being born, and it makes us feel good, right? I mean, it's a part of a wonderful tradition. It's so positive. It's very encouraging. It's very uplifting. I mean, Christmas and babies. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. I mean, we can't handle the cuteness of Christmas, so I thought I'd show you some babies. Look at this, all right? Oh, look at that. I mean, Christmas babies. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. I know, little Santa baby. How about that? So, here's what I want to do. I want to read to you a very familiar tradition. Something that if you've been coming to services like this at Christmas, you hear this story a lot. And it makes you feel good at this time of year. And let me just say, if you have never even read this for yourself, you have probably heard it in the Charlie Brown Christmas special. So let me read it to you, okay? "And in the same region there were shepherds out in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them. And they were filled with great fear. And the angel said to them, 'Fear not, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all the people. And by the way, all the people is you and me. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. And this will be a sign for you. You will find a baby. Aww. A baby wrapped in swaddling cloths and lying in a manger. And then suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly hosts, more angels, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace among those with whom he is pleased." Now, Linus, he said it a little bit different at the end, right? You remember what he said? He said, "Peace and goodwill towards men." And friends, we read this story at this time of year, and great memories can come flooding back of where you were when you heard that story. And even amidst the hard times, you can remember that this is a good thing. But maybe you're here today, and you hear this story every year, and if you're honest, it causes you to wonder if this story is like all the other feel-good stories and movies and, fairy tales and, movie plots. I mean, is this real? It makes you feel something, but is this real? You might chalk it up to be one of those kind of storylines like the rest, but you wonder if this actually happened. I mean, was Jesus really born? Did all the events surrounding this little baby's birth really take place? I mean, angels, shepherds, wise men following a star, a manger. Is this a true story? Do you ever wonder that, any of you? Well, friends, I'm here to tell you something this Christmas, that this story is not like all those other stories, those movies, those plays, those musicals. In fact, this is not a story at all. Luke, the guy who wrote what we just read together, he was the author of an ancient biography about Jesus of Nazareth. And he wrote these words: "Many have undertaken to draw up an account of the things that have been fulfilled among us, just as they were handed down to us by those who first were eyewitnesses and servants of the word. With this in mind, since I myself have carefully investigated everything from the beginning, I too decided to write an orderly account for you, most excellent Theophilus." That's who he's writing for. "So that you may know the certainty of the things you have been taught." See, Christmas, it makes us feel really good inside, but you need to know something tonight. This account is not a morality tale about being a good person or spreading the cheer, so to speak. This is actually careful research. It's research about a historical person, and his name is Jesus of Nazareth, who was born in the historical city of Bethlehem of Judea, which is a real place on the map. See, friends, I'm here to tell you that the Bible does not belong on the same shelf as the movies, as the fairy tales that we read at this time of year. It does not belong on the same shelf. See, what I'm holding in my hand right now is a copy, yes, but it is filled with ancient documents of actual physical evidence of what people saw with their own eyes, and they wrote it down. It's a collection of these ancient documents of real people. This is accurate evidence confirmed by other historical sources, outside historical sources. And what they confirm is the fact that Jesus was in fact born, and that he lived, and that he died. And yes, this same Jesus, born as a baby in a manger, he rose again from the grave. And there is evidence to prove it, not just in the Bible, but from other historical sources. It's all confirmed by outside historical evidence. My friends, Jesus is very real. He's a real person. And this is hugely significant for you and me because it takes us into territory now of facts, not feelings anymore. See, the facts about Christmas are a part of a grander narrative account of how God is working in this world since the beginning of what you and I know as time. And some of you may recognize a very famous verse. In fact, you may see it at the Steelers game and Ravens game in the crowd. You may recognize this Bible verse, but let me tell you who wrote it. John was an eyewitness of the life and death and resurrection of Jesus. And he wrote something about the very first Christmas. Did you know that? And it's so famous in this world. He wrote these words: "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in Jesus should not perish, but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but in order that the world might be saved through him." And I think that there are some of you who feel condemned when you walk into a place like this. You feel like everybody's looking at you. You feel like certain people are judging you. I remember a conversation that I had with my waitress at King's, and I got to know her, and I invited her to come to be a part of one of our worship services, and I remember that she told me this, that she could never come to a church service. Why? And I quote, "Because if I did, the whole building would burn down." And she was serious. See, friends, that's how awful she felt about herself. That's how awful she thought people would think of her and judge her. And worse yet, that's how she felt God thought of her. That if she walked into a building like this, that he would nail her. But friends, remember, we're no longer in the territory of feelings. That was a lot of feelings, right? See, we're in the territory of facts. And so if you're feeling condemned when you walk into a place like this, can I just say something to you? Who cares what they think? Honestly, who cares what the person beside you thinks about you? Right? Go with the facts this Christmas of what it is that you just heard from an eyewitness of Jesus. The fact is this: God loves you. That's the fact of Christmas. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown. See, God loved the world so much that he sent his son Jesus to be born. Why? Because he loves you and he loves me. Why would he do this? I want to go back to the Eaton Park Christmas tree commercial for 1 second. Do any of you ever feel like that star? I know I do. Right? I mean, think about it. The little star tries to get to the top of the tree all by himself. Try to get to the top of your career, try to get to the top of your class, try to get to the top of your team, whatever it might be, all by yourself. The star goes at it all over and over and over again, all on his own, and it doesn't seem that there's anybody there to support him. And after several attempts, he just lays there helpless and hopeless, exhausted. Don't raise a hand, but do you ever feel like that star? Spiritually speaking? I mean, I know physically we feel that. Relationally, we can feel that. But spiritually speaking, do you ever feel like that star? During this past month at Northway, we've been talking about this idea of what would it look like for us as people to choose Christmas. Not just choose the Christmas story, but to choose Jesus and to really pursue the real Jesus. And we kicked off this series talking about how many of us in this world are just spiritually exhausted. Our lives have been showing symptoms of what we called soul dehydration. We're the little star, spiritually worn out. And so we threw up on the screen some ideas of what would it look like to have your soul be dehydrated. What are some symptoms of soul dehydration? And we, just like physical, we said this: maybe you've got bad breath, right? What's coming out of your mouth right now? Seriously, think about it. Is it more discouragement or is it more encouragement? Is it, more criticism than peace? Is it more anger and frustration or is it gentleness? What's coming out of your mouth? Maybe you've got bad breath. That might be a symptom that your soul is dehydrated. Maybe you've got body aches, right? We talked about this idea of eternal ache. See, I think at Christmas we can experience that ache, and I think that's the feeling that we feel of Christmas, that we've been describing, an ache inside of us that we somehow know that something is missing. But we know that what we would love it to have it feel like is Christmas. I mean, we'd love to have that feeling, to have it last all year long. The lift that we get at Christmas, man, that'd be great if we could have that lift all year long. And friends, I believe that feeling that we have, that ache inside of us, is the image of God trying to get our attention. And for whatever reason at Christmas time, it's heightened. We're more aware to it. Another symptom of soul dehydration is fatigue. I mean, are you just exhausted? Not just physically, like the little star on the ground, but relationally, spiritually inside. You just know that you're exhausted. Maybe another symptom is dry eyes or no tears, right? You've just seemed to have lost your compassion for people. You have no empathy. No tears for the people who are in need around you. And then we said, we know that dehydration has reached its worst when you're lightheaded and you're disoriented. Maybe you're here right now and just this last year, man, these last several months, you just feel disoriented. Do you find yourself not being able to think straight, not being able to make good decisions in life? Doesn't it feel like that's what is going on inside of us when you feel that ache, right? And no matter what we do, we just can't seem to make our way out of that funk. We're like that little star. And friends, I'm here to tell you that that is exactly what the enemy of our souls wants to do to us. That's what our sin does to us. It leaves us exhausted, lying on the ground, helpless and hopeless. But did you see what that tree did? Did you see what the Christmas tree did? It bent down to the star to pick him up. And friends, I'm here to tell you that God in his mercy, that first Christmas day, chose to reach down from heaven and to pick us up and to rescue us. God reached down with his one and only Son, Jesus Christ, to rescue us from our sin so that we would no longer be spiritually exhausted or dehydrated or separated from God our Father any longer. But maybe you're here today and you think, well, you know what, man, if I just keep trying, like that star, if I just keep trying to be a good person, then God and I will be good, right? If I can just be nicer to people this year, God and I will be good. He'll put me up on top of that, nice list. I'll reach that one day, heaven, I'll reach God one day by just trying to be nice guy, more nice than the next guy. And friend, listen, I'm not debating whether or not you're a nice person. I mean, you're probably very nice. You might be a really good person. But I'm just here to tell you the truth. That you can try all you want to be a nice person in the coming year, but that's not going to address the spiritual ache that's inside of you that you feel at this time of year. from trying to earn people's love and acceptance from God. Constantly trying to make this eternal, nostalgic feeling last all year long on your own because you know that it eventually fades. You know that it eventually wears off. And friends, that's why I'm trying to convince you tonight that we need to deal with the facts of Christmas, not the feelings of Christmas. See, the fact of Christmas is that God chose you. That's the facts. And you know what that does? That sets the God of Christianity and the Bible apart from any other God of any other religion. The God of the Bible, the one who created the heavens and the earth and everything that is in them, he chose to come down to us. And every other religion in this world requires you, in your effort, to make your way up on your own to their God. That's the huge difference. See, with other religions in this world, to earn peace, you have to accomplish a list of what seems like impossible tasks. In other religions, to experience serenity, you have to do a whole bunch of things to earn serenity. To become enlightened, you have to do and earn and try and become what you just can't. And friends, that is where religion can be flat out exhausting. Because I might not know you, but I know myself. Right? I know me, and I mess up on a daily basis, don't you? I mean, I float back down to the ground all the time. Ask my wife. See, some days I even plummet to the ground and I create a massive crater of my life. And I think you can relate to that. And if that's the reality of all of our lives, then there's nothing that we can do. So we're hopeless. But let's go back to the fact of Christmas. The fact of Christmas, the truth of Christmas. When you expand beyond the traditional Christmas story and you actually put it within the context of history, you understand it in that context. The fact is that God, before the beginning of time, has been waiting to choose you. And he did on that first Christmas. God's already chosen you because he loves you. And he wants every person in this world, John told us. He wants every person in this world to experience his love. Whether people believe in Jesus or whether they're skeptical about Jesus, he loves them, right? And those who are nice people and good people, to those people that we might say are naughty. See, friends, I'm here to tell you that God does not have a naughty list and a nice list. God has a love list, and your name is on it. See, he loves you, and that's why he sent his one and only Son, Jesus Christ, to come down and save you from your spiritual exhaustion and that eternal ache that wells up inside of you at this time of year. God chose you because he loves you. And now here's where the Eaton Park Christmas tree commercial, it's going to break down a little bit as it pertains to God. Because God, he doesn't just lift you up without your permission. He doesn't just lift you up out of your spiritual death and out of your spiritual dehydration. No. He's a gentleman. He never forces himself on anybody at any time. So I want you to use your imagination with me for 1 second. We do that a lot this time of year, so it won't be hard for you. So imagine with me for 1 second that Jesus is that tree in the commercial, and that you are that little star there lying on the ground. And Jesus has now bent down to you, but he doesn't pick you up just yet. He wants to have a conversation first. And as he's bent down to you, he whispers to you. Jesus, he came down to us that first Christmas and he declared to us his life purpose. And he said this, I can save you from whatever's got you here lying on the ground. I don't know if it's a messed up marriage. I don't know if it's a messed up family situation, a work situation. Jesus bends down to you and he says, I can save you from it. I can set you free from it. See, Jesus has bent down to us and he says to us, I have come to set you free from what you got you lying here hopeless. And I have accomplished everything, he whispers in your ear. I've accomplished everything on your behalf to set you free from your sin. He's bent down to you as the tree of life, and he gently asks you, will you come up with me? Will you allow me to pick you up out of your mess? That's the difference. He asks you the question. Because you know what? Jesus can take you to a place that you could never get to yourself. And so he asks you, will you follow him to the eternal place of what you feel inside? I can take you to that eternal place where there is healing, where there's forgiveness, where there's joy, where there's freedom from your sin. But he says to you right now, just imagine, the choice is yours, little star. Will you choose to allow me to lift you up to a true place of freedom? Will you choose to allow me to take the reins of your life so that I can lift you higher than you could ever go on your own? Jesus says, will you choose to place your life into my nail-pierced hands and allow me to heal you? Allow me to forgive you for all that you have ever done and all that you will ever do. Jesus says to you, I've done it all for you. Will you choose to come up with me? See, we've been singing a song around here this past month. We've learned it. It's new. It's by Chris McClarney. It's called Thirsty. And the lyrics in the bridge say this: there's healing, there's freedom, there's more than enough for everyone. So we come, Lord. We come. And so, little stars, the choice is yours today, if you will come to the Lord or not. And I just want to be very straightforward with you today because we're dealing with the facts of Christmas, the reality of choosing Christmas. Here it is. If you don't allow Jesus to pick you up, then you're on your own. With whatever it is that you feel, you're on your own. You're back to trying to get to the top all by yourself. You'll have to work harder the next time that you fall down. You will exhaust yourself to try to fill this nostalgic feeling that only God can fill in your life. However, if you do choose to allow Jesus to pick you up, then know this: your life is no longer your own. Your life is now in Jesus' hands, and he will lift you up to a place that you could never, ever get to on your own, out of your spiritual dehydration, out of your spiritual death, and he will bring you to a place of eternal freedom, which is in a right relationship with God forever. Those are the facts of Christmas. But as we know in this great nation, that there is a massive cost when it comes to freedom. And so I want to lay out the cost. There is a massive cost in this for Jesus. See, Jesus, he gave his life for you so that he could forgive you. He died on the cross for your sin because he wanted you to be in right relationship with God forever. And I want to be honest with you today. There's a massive cost in this for you. And the cost for you this Christmas, if you choose it, is letting go of control of your life and allowing Jesus to become the leader. Let him take over. You have to follow him. And in coming to Jesus and in choosing him and allowing him to lift you up, and you've got to give him your life. You've got to give up striving. You've got to give up doing it on your own. You've got to allow him, listen, You've got to allow him to be the star of your life. And so I'm going to ask everybody right now, would you just please stand with me? And I want to give you an opportunity right now on this Christmas Eve. For some of you, you've never had an opportunity to be able to make a decision like this. Maybe your friend invited you to come with you tonight. Maybe a family member invited you to come so that you could hear the truth and the facts about Christmas. They've been praying for you. We've been praying for you. Because we know at this time of year that things can be difficult. We know that for many of you, there are a lot of things that have gone on in your life, and you have been searching for something. Well, friends, this is the truth of Christmas. And you have a choice to make tonight. Do you want to come to a place of freedom in Jesus Christ from what it is that you know is going on in your life? I'm just going to give you an opportunity right now to be able to make that decision, to be able to give your life to Christ. So let's just bow our heads, everybody. Nobody kind of looking around. This is just going to be a private moment between you and God. Nothing weird's going to happen to any of you. I just simply want to give you an opportunity. If you've never had that opportunity to believe in Jesus, that this would be your night. And so all you have to do is basically just say, you know what, God? I don't want to do it my way anymore like that little star. I recognize that I am in my sin, lying here hopeless on the ground. Everything that I've tried has not worked to get me up to that place where that feeling is now gone. God, I've been trying to do it on my own. And right now, I just want to give my life to you. I may not have everything figured out about Jesus, but I want to believe that he came for me to rescue me out of my sin. And right now, before God, you can just simply say to him, I want to give my life to you. Right here, right now. I want to believe in Jesus. And if that's you, in just a moment, I'm just going to have you raise your hand up with me and look up at me so that I can sort of meet eyes with you and just make this a moment where you remember on this day that you made this decision to follow Jesus and that he picked you up out of your slavery from your sin. He saved you from whatever it is going on in your past that you want to leave behind, that tonight you want to be able to believe in Jesus. And so if that's you, then I just simply want you to raise your hand and look at me right now. Raise your hand. And I just want to agree with you. I agree with you right here. I agree with you right here. I'm just working my way around the room. Honey, I see you right there. I see that hand back there. And believe me, if I'm going to miss your hand, that God sees what's going on in your heart right now, okay? More people. I see this hand right here. I see you, and I agree with you. This is a moment in your life that you just need to say, I believe right now, and I'm not looking back anymore. I'm making a decision right now, and I'm not going back to that place of my past anymore because I have been set free right now. I agree with you right now. I'm working my way across the room, and I see that hand back there. I see your hand. I see your hand, buddy. I see it. Yep. And if I'm missing it, so everybody, I see all of these hands right here, and I'm just so excited that this is a night that you're putting a marker in the ground, that you're saying, no longer am I going to be that little star on the ground. I'm giving my life to Jesus so that he can lift me up to a place of freedom. So if I missed your hand and I didn't get an opportunity to agree with you, just know that God, our Father in heaven, sees it and that we are rejoicing with you. So Northway, can we just give everybody a hand who celebrated on this Christmas Eve service? We love you. That is amazing. Love it. Love it.